Hello, this is The Puerto Rico Debt Crisis and Climate Change by Lexine Sierra and Yadira Trujillo. To begin, Puerto Rico is a territory, not a state, and is a predominantly Spanish-speaking country. Also, the people are allowed to vote in the primaries, but not the election. The first issue would be the debt crisis, which began when Section 936 put in place. It was a tax break for businesses, so many moved to the island. The economy of the island flourished, but it caused the federal government to have a tax deficit, leading to the law to be repealed in 1996. The businesses began to move out, and with this, they took the jobs. This graph indicates all the jobs that were lost as Section 936 was phased out. People have now been forced to live on the streets as they have no money and nowhere to go. Since then, there was a drop in exports between 2017 and 2018, but note that Hurricane Maria was also during this time. Also, many younger people are leaving the island in search of work on the mainland United States. This graph shows how older generations had a boom of babies, but now there is a drop in babies being born in Puerto Rico due to newer generations having fewer kids, and also with the newer generations leaving the island. This page shows the different protests that have broken out across Puerto Rico, and the one sign I would like to point out is the yellow sign, which is in Spanish, and it translates to, "We didn't take out a loan, we didn't see a dime, we are not going to pay." This is due to Puerto Ricans feeling that the debt is not their fault and they should not have to suffer for the government's mistakes. Possible resolutions could be for the government to actually support PROMESA, which is the Puerto Rico Oversight Management Economic Stability Act from 2016, and allow the cases brought to them to have a positive outcome. There is also the bankruptcy plan from 2019, which is meant to lower the debt and bring it to an end sooner. The people will have to suffer for another 10 years, but after this, the debt will be gone and the people will stop leaving Puerto Rico and allow the economy to grow again. Finally, if Puerto Rico were to become a state, they would have an actual vote in Congress and could possibly pass bills to have their debt removed. 97% of Puerto Ricans want to be a state, so why not let them? The second big issue in Puerto Rico is climate change. Climate change is a change in global or regional climates due to increased levels of carbon dioxide. Puerto Rico is susceptible since it is an island on the hurricane belt. Puerto Rico is dangerously close to destruction due to the drinking water and pipeline structures being compromised by rising sea levels. There is also the issue with the storms and hurricanes as they can destroy entire cities. Rising temperatures can interfere with agriculture, and the graph on the side indicates just how hot it has become in Puerto Rico as temperatures continue to rise. People are the ones who are the most risk due to climate change, especially those who are considered high risk, such as the elderly or people who have underlying pre-existing conditions. It is also noted that the temperature has risen by 50% since 1950, and there has been more warm nights. There is also an issue with the mosquitoes since they carry diseases and they pass these on to people, but due to Puerto Rico's climate, they like to live there. As a way to recover, Congress has designated about $20 billion to rebuild houses and infrastructures, but with plans in place, Puerto Rico has not seen this money. Puerto Ricans have joined together to fix their homes and communities with very little governmental help. Puerto Rico is said to be better prepared now if another disaster, such as another Hurricane Maria, were to strike, as there are now detailed disaster response plans. The images here show the aftermath of a natural disaster and just how powerful a hurricane can be. The graph indicates how hot the temperatures were last year and they will probably continue to grow. There's also an image of how powerful Hurricane Maria was. A possible solution to help Puerto Rico would be for people to donate to the island and help them prepare better for their next disaster. It is noted that whether or not people realize Puerto Ricans are United States citizens, they still believe they deserve the aid. Another solution would be military involvement. The USNS Comfort, which is the United States Naval Ship Mercy Comfort, is a ship with a trauma unit and other care for people who need it. For some reason, the government did not find it necessary to send the USNS Comfort to Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria, but sent it to New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina, even though the death toll and destruction was worse after Maria. If it had been sent, the people could have been better taken care of and treated faster. Overall, Puerto Rico is in need of help, and we have offered a few solutions to this problem. And we've also included our sources.